Okay, awesome. Thank you, everybody, for joining Ahmed and myself here today for AMC Technologies Agentforce Voice Unboxed session. Really excited to walk you through what what we have prepared for you today. I know Ahmed especially has been putting a lot of work in, making sure that we can walk you through the process of enabling Agentforce Voice and show you the support of a few use cases at the end of this. So, a couple of introductions just for myself. My name is David Grant. I am an enterprise solutions manager here at AMC Technology. I work with all of our current and prospective customers on taking a look at how we can use our DaVinci Toolkit to solve for their business's unique use cases. Um, been here about 7 years, worn a few different hats, and have been having a lot of fun uh, meeting a ton of different people and helping solve some pretty cool problems. Ahmed?
Hello everyone, my name is Ahmed. I'm a solutions engineer here at AMC Technology, and I've been with AMC Technology here for about a year and a couple months, and I've been having a lot of fun working with everyone here.
Awesome. Few housekeeping notes. We are recording this session. Uh, if you have any coworkers or anybody you know that wanted to attend but was unable to, we will be sharing the recording slides and some follow-up resources, things that perhaps we go over during the call after the session. Please post any and all questions that you have in the chat. I will be taking a look at the chat while we're going, but also we will be sure to answer any questions that have gone unanswered at the very end of the end of the webinar, the end of the demonstration. This is live. We are configuring this live. It's incredibly possible, and dare I say, likely, given how we all know live demonstrations go, that there will be a little hiccup. And if there is, that's totally okay. That's part of this process. It's brand new to a lot of us, but anybody who's played with any of these tools and accomplished some really cool stuff with these tools knows that there are some hiccups that you can't necessarily always plan for. So we will work through those live, and that'll be fun as well if that does happen. So anything from you, Ahmed, before I keep going, or are we good?
No, sounds great to me. We can keep going.
All right, awesome. While I work through these few slides, if you could take a chance, if you're just joining in the chat, we do have a poll that we've posted. A little curious about where people fall on this. If you're using AI tools more at work or more at home, I myself voted home because I am not a culinary mastermind. However, I can follow a recipe, and Chat GPT um, and numerous other tools have given me some good dairy-free waffle and pancake recipes. So I voted home personally. What did you vote, Ahmed?
I voted at home as well, and the reason is it helps me plan a lot of things that I want to do, and it helps me know the best ways to do things, and so I do use it a lot more at home.
Awesome, awesome. I'm not solving any problems except for my appetite, I guess. All right, so moving on. Just a little bit of an idea about exactly what it is that we're going to cover. We're going to show you where you go in Salesforce to configure Agentforce Voice. It's possible you already know this, but it doesn't hurt to start on the ground level, right? We're going to show you how knowledge sources are connected. What is it that your agent is going to be pulling from to provide the answers that you're looking for? We'll touch on how CRM data grounds and informs the conversations that Agentforce Voice or any Agentforce tool that you're building is going to use. I'm sure we all know this, but data out is only as good as the data in, right? So we want to make sure that our CRM data is cleaned up and in a good spot. We'll chat about how routing and escalation work. If the agent is unable to either solve the problem that the person calling in has had, or the person is just, and I'm one of these people sometimes as well, wants to talk to a person right away. what does that sort of look like? How does that escalation work? And then Ahmed is going to be showing us a real live test using a real business scenario that we are all too familiar with this time of year. Um, so we'll be focusing a little bit on I can't remember the name of the company that we came up with, but we're going to be focusing a little bit on filing our taxes in this demonstration. So now, what are the steps that we're going to go through? First, we're going to enable Agentforce chat and voice. We're going to assign permissions to those to ensure that they are able to access everything that it needs to access, and then we're going to make sure that we configure our Salesforce user to make sure that we're good there. Next, you're going to need to configure the voice stream that it is that we're going to be using here. You're going to need to assign phone numbers and configure some of the routing as well. Then the fun part, although Ahmed may think it's all fun, but the fun part, we're going to actually create the agent. Ahmed's going to show us topics and actions and how it is that you configure those. He's going to show us where you connect the data sources and the knowledge bases and things of that nature as well. And then we're going to see the test. Anything to add here, Ahmed, or are we good to go?
We're good to go.
Awesome. Now, the situation that we find ourselves in, the problem, and it is really a problem, is that it is tax season. And in our scenario, all of the folks that we want to call and talk to are busy. And Ahmed, who works for Tax Filing Experts LLC, he's underwater. And he's got people that are calling him all the time. They want to set an appointment for every single question they have. And the questions they're asking are awfully repetitive and pretty easily answered in just a few minutes. So what Ahmed wants to do as CIO at Tax Filing Experts LLC is put together an autonomous voice agent that's going to answer those frequently asked questions, but also automate the process of scheduling, confirming, updating, and canceling appointments. Also, he can ensure that the tax preparers and the CPAs and the folks that are working at Tax Filing Experts LLC are using their time on tasks that are most important, which is figuring out what deductions you qualify for and making sure that people get the biggest refund on their taxes they could possibly get. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and hand it on over to Ahmed, who is going to walk us through creating this autonomous voice agent using Agentforce Voice and showing us a live demo about how it all works at the end of it. So Ahmed, take it away, sir.
Thank you, David, for walking us through. Thank you, David, for walking us through the scenario. And now we're going to dive right into it and start building the AI agent. So to start, all what we need is a Salesforce org with appropriate licensing. We would need the licenses that are needed for Agentforce Voice, and we would also need access for the user that is using the agent to have access to the objects that it's going to withdraw and create appointments in. And so here I'm in my Salesforce org. I'm going to go ahead and navigate to Agentforce setup. And here we can see Agentforce Voice setup. And here we can see the steps that we need to take in order for us to configure and build the agent. And so the first step here is to create a voice-enabled agent. The second step is to create an omni-channel flow that would route the work items to the agent. The third step is to create a phone number and add it to the channel. And the fourth step is to create the messaging channel. And the fifth step is to route incoming calls and configure escalation in case if the agent is not able to solve the problem and the customer wants to talk to a human. And so next thing is we're going to go ahead and get started on step 1, and we're going to click on Agent Builder. And we'll give it a second to load. And here we can see all the agents that we have built previously. And if you don't have this toggle turned on, please make sure to do so. It is required for us to build an agent. And here we see the plus new agent button. I'm going to go ahead and click on this button to create a new agent.
Now, Ahmed, be honest with us. How many times have you tried to create the agent without having that button toggled?
It may have been once.
Okay.
And let's go ahead and start building the agent in Agent Builder. And so here we can either create it from a template or we can create it with Gen AI. In this scenario, we're going to go ahead and create it from a template. And when we're creating an agent, we want it to be an Agentforce service agent in this scenario, because it is the kind of agent that we need to be able to make changes to records and perform tasks in Salesforce. And so I'm
So,
going to go.
Ahmed, is there a reason that creating from a template in this scenario is more advantageous than creating it using Gen AI?
So creating it with Gen AI may be faster. However, creating it from a template, we have our own specific use cases, and to get the best results for those use cases, I've already tested this previously, and I find
Awesome.
it that it would give us um, very
Better
convenient
results
results
using the
for this use
awesome.
case, yes. So
Cool.
I'm
Thank
going
you.
to go ahead and click next. And so here we have topics that are already pre-built, and we can either add them or remove them. However, for our scenario, we do not need these topics, and we're only going to leave one, which is general FAQ. And just to give you a heads up, a topic is basically a defined category that has a defined scope. And so when you're adding topics like appointment management or general FAQ, when the user asks a agent to about a specific topic, it would be able to identify which steps and which instructions to follow that are most relevant to this topic. And so here I'm going to uncheck all of these, and I'm going to leave general FAQ, and I'm going to click next. And here we want to configure the agent. We want to give it the name, the description, the role, and tell it more about the company and what it does, and assign it a user. And just a heads up, to save us a lot of time on the typing, I'm going to be copying and pasting these prompts.
Now, have you found through your testing, Ahmed, that a certain wording of the prompts that may not necessarily be intuitive if you haven't been testing with it works better than others?
So the more context you provide it, the better. So it would be able to understand what exactly you want, and it would eliminate ambiguity. And
Cool.
and there's actually this new feature here in Salesforce, which it uses AI to verify if your wording is good and um, how to have the best results through prompts,
Awesome.
which we're going to take a look at soon. And so here I've provided it more information about the company, what it does, and what the role of the agent is. And I'm going to provide it with a user that has access to the objects that we need, so it's able to perform the tasks and run the flows on these objects. And so I'm going to click next. And here we are going to select a data library, which contains all the knowledge that the agent needs in order for it to answer frequently asked questions.
And that data library is loaded with, in this scenario, um, a bunch
It,
of stuff that people would normally ask when they're trying to call and schedule an appointment for taxes or get advice on filing their taxes.
yes, so the data library here contains a PDF that contains all the knowledge that we need for tax solutions experts and what they are and all the information they need regarding the appointments and all the information regarding filing taxes. And so it's pretty simple and straightforward. You create a data library here. If you don't have one, you can click plus new. And after that, you would select the PDF that contains all the knowledge that you need. And then immediately after this happens, the agent is able to pull information from that PDF and answer questions.
Cool.
And so here we have the data library and it looks like it is ready and set. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to test the general FAQ topic that we have created. So I'm going to ask it, when is the tax filing deadline? And it's taking a second to think. And it said that the standard federal tax filing deadline is April 15th. If the date falls on a weekend or holiday, the deadline may shift. And so this answer is straight out of the PDF that I've provided it for the knowledge. And so here we can see in the middle that we have the reasoning engine, and this is basically the brain of the agent. It's showing us in real time what is happening and all the flows and topics being selected and executed. And so this is very helpful for us to solve any issues that we run into. And so here we can see that the topic selected is general FAQ, and we can see that it withdrew this answer from the knowledge base that we provided it. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new topic, and this topic is going to be for managing appointments. And so the description that I'm going to provide it is to handle all requests related to scheduling and maintaining tax service appointments. And this is optional. If you go ahead and enter this, and with a lot of context, it would, and you click next, it would provide us AI generated scope and instructions, which we're going to see in a second. And so here, without me even having to enter the instructions, we can see that they are generated by the AI and they look great. If a customer requests to schedule an appointment, provide available dates and times for tax services. And we have a few other instructions, and they all look good to me. And so the feature that I mentioned earlier here, if you click on this, it's going to find anything to improve. And since this is pretty straightforward and it's straight to the point and there's nothing to improve, it said it looked good and we didn't find anything else to improve. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click next. And here we want to have the actions that contain the flows that will be creating the appointments, canceling them, updating them, or confirming them, and verifying the identity of the agent. And so we have a list here of the actions that are pre-built. However, for our use cases, we have created our own actions that we're going to use. So these may be helpful for a different use case. However, for our scenario, we're going to use our own. So I'm going to click Finish without selecting any of the pre-built actions. And here I'm going to select the tax service appointment topic, and I'm going to go to the Actions section, and I'm going to start creating the new actions out of the flows that I have built. And so an action can be of an Apex type, an API flow, predictive model, or prompt template. For our use cases, it's going to be out of flows that will create records of the appointment object. And so here, the first action that we're going to create is going to be customer authentication. This action will verify the identity of the user. And here we have the agent action instructions. It's already typed in because in the flow, I've given it this description. If you don't have a description in the flow, you would need to type in this yourself. And so for the loading text, we're going to say something like verifying your identity. This is the message that will be delivered to the user when the agent is taking a second to think. And here we have our inputs and our outputs variables. And so to verify the identity, we're going to use the email, the full name, and the phone number of the user. And so these are going to be required for input. And so we're going to give it just instructions for these actions. And so I'm going to be copying and pasting the instructions that I've given it. I'm going to say prompt the user for their email address and prompt the user for their full name. And I'm going to say prompt the user for their phone number. And here, after the agent would have all these three fields collected, it would have access to the contact ID, and the ID is not something that we want to show to the user, so we're not going to check any of these. And so we're going to click next. And so here we have created the first action, which will verify the identity of the user. And so we have 4 more to go: to schedule, to update, to retrieve, and to cancel the appointments. So let's go ahead and continue. And the next one will be to schedule appointment. I'm going to give it the instruction. And to schedule an appointment, we're going to require the date and time as input. And for the contact ID, we're not going to show that to the user or take it as input from the user. And for the output confirmation number, it looks great, and I'm going to go ahead and proceed with this. Oh, we forgot to add a loading text. So the loading text is going to be scheduling your appointment.
So what that basically means is that when the person says that they want to schedule an appointment, Agentforce is going to come back and say, great, we are now scheduling your appointment while it is working on it.
Yep, that is exactly what it's
Okay,
going to do.
cool.
And so we have 2 out of our 5 actions. We're going to create 3 more. And the next thing we're going to have is to update the appointment in case if the user would like to have a different date and time for the appointment. And we're going to give it a loading text of updating your appointment. And for the input, we're going to require the confirmation number of their appointment that they want to change the time for. And I'm going to say prompt the user for their confirmation number of their appointment. And this is going to be required. And I'm going to go ahead and add the instruction for the date and time. And this will be the new date and time for the appointment. And we want to show the new date and time for the user afterwards. And so this looks good. I'm going to go ahead and finish. And the next action will be to retrieve the appointment. So I'm going to go ahead and select the get appointment flow. And we're going to say finding your appointment. And for the confirmation number, it's going to be required. And for the output ID, appointment ID, we're going to leave that unchecked. And so everything here looks great. And so we're going to go ahead and finish. Just double checking everything. It looks great. We're going to go ahead and finish. And last but not least, the last action we're going to create is to cancel appointments. So we're going to go ahead with the delete appointment flow. And we're going to give it this instruction. When the user asks to cancel or delete the appointment, run this action. And for the loading text, we're going to say canceling your appointment. And for the confirmation number, it's going to be required, and I'm going to give it the instruction to prompt the user for the confirmation number of their appointment. And for the contact ID, it's going to store it, but we're not going to ask the user for it. And for the output confirmation number variable, we're going to leave it unchecked because we do not want to display that to the user. And so I'm going to click finish. And here it looks like we have all the flows that we need for the appointment management topic. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to refresh and we're going to put it to the test. So I'm going to say what documents are needed to file taxes. And here it said that to file taxes, you typically need the following documents: W-2 forms, 1099 forms, photo ID, social security cards, prior tax returns, records of deductions. And we can see that it has selected this answer from the knowledge that I've given it. And to proceed, I'm going to ask it, can you help me file taxes? And it said I can't directly help you file taxes, but I can guide you on what documents you need and provide general information. For filing, you might want to use tax software or consult a tax professional. Let me know if you need more guidance. I would like to schedule an appointment with a professional. And here it's asking me for my full name, email address, and phone number to get started. So it's running the customer authentication flow here to verify my identities. And so I have this contact here, which is demo user. And for this user, I'm going to provide it the name, the email, and the phone number of the user. And so the full name here is going to be demo user. Phone number is 804-123-4567. And the email is demoemail@gmail.com. And here it is asking me for a date and time for the appointment. I'm going to say February 26th at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And it said that my appointment has been successfully scheduled. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. I've navigated to the records of the appointment object, and here we can see the appointment. We can see that it has my contact and has the confirmation number and the date that I've provided it to schedule the appointment. And so here we can see that we have successfully implemented step 1, which is to build the AI agent, and we have tested it through Agent Builder. And so the next steps will be to attach it to a voice channel, and this will be by procuring a phone number, creating a messaging channel, and creating a flow that would route the work items to the channel of the agent. And so to get started on this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to temporarily activate this flow. The agent, and while it is loading, I'm going to navigate to flow and setup. And here what we're going to do is we're going to create an omni-channel flow that would route the work items to the channel of the voice agent, of the agent. And so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on plus new flow. And this is going to be an omni-channel flow. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on the plus sign and add an element. This will be the route work element. And we'll name this tax service agent, voice agent route. And when you add the label, it automatically fills the API name. And as a requirement here, we're going to create a variable that would have the record ID, and it would be a text type and available for input. And we're going to add this variable into the record ID, and we're going to select the phone service channel, and we want to route to the Agentforce service agent. And here we want to select the Agentforce service agent. And here we currently do not see it in the list. Maybe I need to refresh here. Oh, it's because I didn't activate it. I'm going to ignore and activate. And just a heads up, what I've just clicked ignore and activate, it was giving me warnings about things that we're going to be setting up later. And so here I'm going to save this and then refresh. And I'm going to name it tax service voice agent route. And I'm going to save. And I'm going to refresh. And now after activating the agent, I can see it here in the list of agents. I'm going to select that one and I'm going to add the fallback queue. And this looks great. This is pretty much everything that we need for the flow that will route the items to the agent. I'm going to go ahead and save. And I'm going to activate. And the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to set up a phone number. So we're going to click on new number. We're going to select the country. We're going to go with the US, 10-digit long code for the number type. And it is available for voice and SMS. We're going to click next, enter the area code, and we're going to select a phone number for the voice agent. And here we'll just go with the first one, and we'll click next. We're going to review and save. And here, after navigating to phone numbers and refreshing, we can see that the phone number here is added. And what we're going to do is we're going to add this phone number to a channel. And so what we're going to do is we're going to click new channel. We're going to give it a name, tax service voice agent. We're going to do the same thing for the developer name. And we're going to go ahead and add the route. And for the phone number, I think we may need to wait for a second. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and take a look. And the phone number is now live, so we're able to use it. And so we're going to click on new channel and do this again. And we're going to select the phone number, select the flow that we have created, and we're going to save. Failed to create the voice channel. Okay, let's give it a different name. It looks like the name was the conflict here, and so we have the channel here with the phone number assigned to it. And what we're going to do is we're going to add this agent to the channel. So I'm going to deactivate, and I'm going to go ahead and navigate to connections, plus new, select the telephony option, and it looks like it is already added for inbound routing. For escalations, you can configure this if you want to have the agent to escalate it to a real representative in case of the user wants this option, or in case if they run into any issues that they cannot solve. And for the sake of time, we're just going to go ahead and navigate to and test the inbound routing. And so here I have my phone number with me. I'm going to go ahead and activate. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to test it through my phone and see if it's able to schedule an appointment for myself. And so it's taking just a couple seconds. Again, it's warning me about a few things. No conversation, escalation, flow. Again, we don't not have this set up because we do not have the time. However, this can be something that you can set up in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and ignore and activate this for now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dial the phone number that we have set up. 223-5324. Oh, it looks like I've missed a step here. So after creating the channel, you would need to activate the channel. So I'm going to select that channel and I'm going to click on activate. And I'm going to navigate back and I'm going to dial the number again.
Can I help you?
Hello, I have a couple questions. When is the deadline to file taxes?
The standard federal tax filing deadline is April 15th. If this day falls on a weekend or holiday, the deadline may shift. Do you have any other questions?
Yes, what documents are needed to file taxes?
Common documents needed to file taxes include W-2S, 1099-F, a photo ID, Social Security card, prior tax return, and records of deductions. Let me know if you need help with anything else.
Can you help me file taxes?
I can't directly file taxes for you, but I can help you schedule an appointment with a tax professional at Tax Solutions Experts. Would you like to set up an appointment?
Yes, please.
Schedule your appointment. Could you provide your full name, phone number, and email address?
Full name is demo user. Email address is demoemail@gmail.com. Phone number is 804-123-4567.
Can you confirm your email as demoemail@gmail.com and your phone number as +18 0412345567?
Yes, that is correct.
Verifying your identity. Your identity has been verified. What date and time would you prefer for your tax appointment?
February 27th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Scheduling your appointment. Your tax appointment has been scheduled for February 27th at 3:30 p.m. EST. Your confirmation number is 8-0015. You need help with anything else?
Yes, I would like to update the time of this appointment.
What new date and time would you prefer for your appointment?
February 28th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Updating your appointment. Your appointment has been updated to February 28th at 1:30 p.m. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
Yes, please. I have an appointment that I would like to cancel.
Please provide the confirmation number for the appointment you'd like to cancel.
The confirmation number is A-0014.
Canceling your appointment. I encountered an issue while canceling your appointment. Could you please confirm the confirmation number again?
A-0015.
Canceling your appointment. Your appointment with confirmation number A0015 has been successfully canceled. Do you need help with anything else?
Nope, that's it. Thank you. And so as we were able to see through the voice channel, the agent was able to schedule, update time of appointments, and cancel those appointments. And so after handling those use cases, the representatives of tax filing solutions experts are no longer experiencing delays from those kind of tasks.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ahmed. That was really cool. So any questions that you guys have, please use the Q&A tab or drop them in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer them for you. Oh, here we go. We have a question from Eric. Thanks for the demo. Is the phone service included in Salesforce, or did you use a third-party tool? Ahmed, I believe that we used a third-party tool, correct?
So for the phone service, currently those phone numbers are configured in Salesforce. Those are the numbers that are attached to the agent, if that's the phone number that you're asking for. And for the appointment, we did use a custom object. However, for this can be done in any objects that you want, and those objects can be standard objects as well.
Awesome. Yeah, Eric, to be clear, using our DaVinci toolkit, it would be fairly easy for us to connect your current telephony platform to the Agentforce Voice bot that you want created. So we'd be able to integrate that with Salesforce Voice and set up all those flows and everything. Eric wants to know, what is the name of the tool in Salesforce?
It's called Unified Number Management.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ahmed. All right, everybody. Awesome. Thank you so much for attending. We'll get the recording and slides out tomorrow. And please use that link that that I posted in the chat, and that I'm sure will be included in what we send out tomorrow to book some time and talk further. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, wherever it is that you may be. Bye-bye.